Keeping you in the know,
Chill out, bro. Chill out.
In an unusual turn in events, an officer now stands accused of falsifying a police report and lying about punching a teenage boy in the face. Good evening at 6. I'm Mark Mullins. An Indianapolis Metropolitan Police officer has been charged after a video surfaced of a confrontation involving the officer and an IPS student. Last month, a viral video showing an officer allegedly punching a student. Officers were originally called to a local high school for a hallway fight between juveniles. When one of those teens was being escorted off the school's property, the student's aunt got involved and things got physical. RTV6's Stephanie Wade spoke with the prosecutor today and explains the serious charges tonight.
A list of charges tonight against this IMPD officer ranging from battery, obstruction of justice, perjury, false reporting, and official misconduct. All of this stemming from an incident that happened here outside Shortridge High School. Now, I asked the prosecutor today 2 questions that he think are critical in what we saw happen.
The video evidence as well as the witness statements directly contradict Officer Lawson's report. There are a number of not only inaccuracies but false statements that relate to material facts, which is why we decided it was appropriate to file those additional charges.
Without this video or the videos, would you have been able to make these charges?
In terms of the strike that occurred, probably not.
According to prosecutors, IMPD officer Robert Lawson made false statements when he allegedly hit a 17-year-old high school student in an altercation late August. The officer claimed he hit the teen with an open palm strike in fear that the student was going to hit him. He then said they were able to cuff the teen without further force, but prosecutors say video shows that was not true. They say the video appears to show the officer rather punching the student and also hitting the teen in the abdomen with his knee while cuffing him. According to charging documents, Lawson also said another officer present during the incident saw the student swing his fist at Lawson before he hit him. However, that officer denied ever making that statement. You mentioned you're sending a strong message to the community. What message are you sending to police?
Hopefully the message is that everyone's going to be treated fairly and that we're going to assess everyone based on their conduct.
Prosecutor Curry also added by no means does he excuse the officer's behavior, but says the woman in the video, who we now know is the student's aunt, was screaming, yelling, and cursing at the officers. Curry saying that if adults could act like adults, quote, this whole circumstance could have been avoided. Working for you tonight, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Stephanie, thank you. Tonight, IMPD Chief Brian Roach issuing this statement in part, quote, after the filing of formal criminal charges by the Marion County Prosecutor's Office, Officer Robert Lawson has been placed on suspension without pay with a recommendation of termination to the Civilian Oversight Merit Board. We strive to hold ourselves to a high standard and will continue to review this incident and others to identify ways we can improve as an agency, end quote. Indianapolis Public Schools came out with this statement on the matter today, saying it will continue to work with the community to ensure all children are provided a safe and secure learning environment. We have statements also from the family, Black Lives Matter, and IMPD right now in this story on the RTV6 mobile.
What it do, YouTube family? This your brother Real Adele ROB with another You Know video. And what you just seen in the opening video is self-explanatory, and that's what I really want to go over, because that video is a prime example of what I think should be more in the forefront as far as police accountability when it comes to dealing with citizens, especially black people. And that video is a prime example out of countless of videos, and even cases that don't even have videos. But what I want to say is, a lot of cases and what I want to say is a lot of brothers are in jail based off the words of a police officer. Basically because the police officer probably said, and a lot of brothers are in the ground based off the words of a police officer. Like, this kind of reminded me of the young brother Laquan McDonald. When Laquan McDonald was gunned down on the south side of Chicago, I think that happened, 2013. And deliberately, they were trying to not put the video out. The DA, all of them, the prosecutor, everybody, they was hiding this video. So it took public concern and public outcry for this video to get released to the general public. And what the video showed was everything the officer said was a lie. Laquan McDonald didn't lunge at him. Laquan McDonald didn't do any of that. And he got shot in the back 16 times. Actually, the police kept shooting while Laquan McDonald was on the ground. But rest in peace to that young brother, because that was a sad, sad case. But what I want to talk about in this case, because a lot of people don't know that us as citizens of the United States, police officers are supposed to be public servants. And basically, our tax dollars go to paying these people's salary. So basically, police are working for us. But unfortunately, what you see in poor economic areas, where a lot of black people are, they don't protect and serve us. They come there just to be on bullshit with us. Just like what you seen in that video. That young brother was pulling up his pants and listening to what the officer said, and the officer just felt like, okay, I'm gonna hit him in his face with a closed fist. And he lied and said it was an open fist. But the truth eventually comes out. But I noticed the prosecutor tried to say, well, his auntie was out there and she was all loud and she was yelling and cussing. And there you go with that loud black woman stereotype that the media loves to perpetuate on our people. Just like they like to perpetuate the thug image on our people. You know, they like to perpetuate all this. You know, like, you know, there's no shade to Tiffany Haddish and, you know, other black entertainers that do what they do, but a lot of these black women that's in the public act a certain way, and they get rewarded for that. Lizzo, she's another one. She loud, she making a stunt. They loud, you know. And then when people that don't know black people and it's not around black society to understand that all black people are not the same, they're gonna lump all us into one specific group. And that's what they did with that woman. They tried to rationalize that bullshit that police officer did with, oh, well, she shouldn't have been loud. Of course she was loud, because y'all was y'all was aggressive with her nephew and had gun. Actually, the police, before he hit the young brother, he had his hand on his on the hip where his gun was at. You see? So it's always going to be our word against theirs, because we are dealing with a system of white supremacy. And all the white supremacists have to say is, oh, that nigga looked like he was up to something. Or, you know, and a lot of these, because, you know, I follow a lot of these, the news vlogs on Facebook. And a lot of these Fox News, CBS, NBC News, when they talk about black crime and black issues, I know it's a lot of white people go on there and they use the same bullshit talking points. Well, if you just didn't resist, or just pull your pants up, and all that other shit do not mean anything. These people are inherently the way they are. They're doing what their ancestors was doing. what you think the slave overseer was doing to little black boys on the plantation? Just smacking them around. Nigga, go and do your work. And us as black folk, we have to understand that in order for us to be empowered, we have to understand that when these politicians always coming to us about, when we talk about black issues, what are you going to do to help the betterment of the blacks that are the descendants of slaves? What are you going to do about them? They always come with some bullshit police reform or criminal justice reform or all this other stuff. And then you be like, okay, but all black people are not criminals. What are you going to do for the black person that's not in and out of jail and doing criminal behavior? See, and that's why they do. They lump us all into one specific category, and that's the way they police our neighborhoods. Me being from the west side of Chicago, I see you literally can't be outside for 5 minutes without seeing a damn police car. They constantly in our neighborhoods. They not protecting and serving. They trying to fill up these jails. That's all it is. It's big business, man. It's big business. And I noticed the older white gentleman in the video said something. And, you know, he was being honest. He was being real honest when he said that if the video wasn't captured, and luckily, I like to thank the Good Samaritan that recorded that. That was a good thing, man, that you recorded that. But he said that, yeah, if the video wasn't recorded and found, yeah, probably nothing wouldn't have happened. And that's the truth. And this brother could have been pleading like, that officer, I didn't do anything. And you know what? That brother probably would have got something on his record that was bullshit and had to deal with this. Because this is what I'm saying. So many brothers don't get that lucky break of evidence proving their innocence. A lot of police officers know that they can write some bullshit on a police report to get your black ass locked up. And when the prosecutor said what he said, that she was loud and all that, because the prosecutors work hand in hand with these police departments. We gotta understand this, man. You know, right now we screaming out police reform and defund the police and all this. You know, and we have a presidential election coming up. And everybody like, you know, we got a lot of people saying put Kamala and Joe Biden in office, but you gotta understand, Kamala works with the prosecution. She's a career prosecutor. Joe Biden, since he been in politics, have put anti-black laws and everything in place to criminalize black people. Even going back to the 70s, when he was involved into those, when he was against the school busing of black children to white schools, where he said he didn't want his kids to be around monkeys and jungle, whatever that shit he was saying. So he's an unapologetic racist. And these are the ones that we're supposed to put in office to defund the police. And in no way, shape, or form am I pro-Trump, because I don't fuck with none of them. You get what I'm saying, family? But we got to understand that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have an 80-year combined track record of doing mischievous things to black people, mainly black men. You know, we're not going to go into that 94 crime bill and all that, how, you know, Biden promised to incentivize the states if they was to tweak a couple of their laws to match up with his 94 crime bill. We're not going to talk about how Kamala bragged about jailing single mothers, that their children had missed school because of these truancy laws. She laughed about that. She bragged about being a top cop. And these are the people that we expect to change America and hold the police officers accountable. See, at least with Trump, we know where we stand as black Americans. We know Trump don't really fuck with black people like that unless it's really on some business level. But Joe Biden and Miss Kamala, I'll be black when I need some votes when it's election season. They have always shown their anti-black views. And it shows a lot, you know. Kamala doing all this stuff, did all these crimes against black men and black society. It shows a lot. Look who she laying up with. She laying up with the oppressor. So of course she gonna work hand in hand with white supremacy to get the white supremacist job done easier. See, we got a lot of Negroes that are in high places. We got a lot of Negroes that we put in these places thinking that they're working in the interest of black society, but they're nothing but a mascot for white supremacy. And family, that's what we need to start doing. We need to start holding not just the police accountable, start holding our politicians accountable, family. Like, gone are the days where us, the black Americans, we are the descendants of the slaves that built this country free of charge and never got compensated. Gone are the days that we are everybody's stepping stool. Because right now we screaming for what we rightfully deserve, which is justice and to be treated right in a country that we built free of charge. But I'm not going to go on and on today, family, but I just want to put that out to the forefront, like where we need to start holding these people more accountable. Because if the cops have body cameras, we need to make it mandatory. Anytime when a police officer go onto a scene, especially when it's a black person involved, put on that body cam. Anytime where it's a scene where it's supposed to be some type of fighting or any type of physical, turn on that damn body cam. Because in a lot of cases, it's always our word against their word. And in the in the courts and in the justice system, we lose 9 times out of 10. But luckily, somebody recorded this one. But I'm about to get up out of here, family. And I want y'all to stay blessed. Stay black. I love y'all.